Top 10 anime moments before absolute failure. My boy Sakuta, you legit just you cursed yourself. It's like Murphy's Law. That's exactly what you did. And I really like just how that was done. How normally a series wouldn't do that, but then how everything went so wrong. There was so much bait and switch within this episode that made me, already as a fan of this series, just giddy and enjoy it. And when the episode finally ended, the ending song started playing, and I was like, oh, it's over. I was just left with a smile on my face. I was like, man, this series is pretty much perfection. Now, it's not, quote-unquote, perfect, but it's so much fun, especially with everything that's kind of been going on recently. If you follow me, you know what I'm talking about. This is definitely what I needed for today. This is definitely something that gave me a smile. Something that kind of took my mind off of things and allowed me to really just appreciate the atmosphere that this series gives off. Now, one big thing about this episode I like is that it clarifies what this series is going to do. And it's very Monogatari-like. And it's what I talked about in my previous episode review of Bunny Girl Senpai. I talked about how with the whole arc, with Mai being settled, what's next? What could potentially be in the future of this series? It does seem like our MC is going to be encountering more individuals that may go through similar situations that Mai went through, he went through, and his sister went through, and he's going to try to face them and try to get them through it. And that's what this new arc is about. Now, some might say this could potentially get repetitive, and I can understand that viewpoint, why some would say that, but it really comes down to the execution and how it's done. And so far from this episode, it's very different from the previous 3 episodes we got of Bunny Girl Senpai. Honestly, the only similarity we have going on here is that there is some form of supernatural theme. That's it. That's all that's really similar. In fact, the only thing that could really compare this episode to would be Haruhi. If you've ever watched Haruhi, then you know what I'm talking about when it comes to this episode. Now, if you have never watched Haruhi, or if you've never watched the Endless 8, thank God if you haven't, let's just say this, that, this will definitely bring back some memories, some, PTSD, so to say, if you have watched Endless 8 and Haruhi, because this was literally Groundhog Day, the episode. And I feel like Groundhog Day, especially for this arc, this is not the last time we're actually going to see this. I feel like there's going to be a moment probably in the next episode or an episode after that, depending on how long this arc lasts. I want to assume it's probably going to last 2, maybe 3 episodes if it's following the format from, the first 3 episodes, and these next 3 episodes or upcoming 2 episodes will focus on this arc we're just in, but we'll move into a new arc or something, unless this arc is extra long or extra short. But I feel like it'd be a good format to keep to a little arc every 3 episodes, unless, like I said, it needs to be extended. But getting on topic though, basically, it's Groundhog Day. That's exactly what this arc is about, and our character was stuck in a loop. A complete time loop on, I think, June 27th. It's either July 27th or June 27th. Forgive me, I don't remember the exact month date that was in the episode. I know it was 27th, though, and it was one of those 2 months. But he was stuck in an endless loop. But for instance, he would go to school, do his normal thing, he'd come back home, he'd wake up, same thing over and over. On the news, everything would be the same. The only difference is that the female character that he encountered in the second episode, I think it was the second episode, the female character he encountered, Koga, was someone that was actually able to also affect and feel the time loop as well, alongside our MC Sakuta. And she is the main cause of this. And I feel like it might not just be her, it also might be him too that could be potentially the cause of it. Who really knows? But the point is the main cause of it, from what we can see, is that the girl, Koga, she does not want to be in a relationship with this dude. And to avoid this, she literally created Groundhog Day. And I'm just like, really? Like, really? So she literally did not want to date this guy so bad. Groundhog Day happened. Time looping. That's kind of, man, that's like the biggest L you can get in terms of rejection. I really think about that. Like, a girl goes through Groundhog Day just to try to reject you. Like, bro, that's kind of messed up. But okay, jokes aside, though, Anyways, she doesn't want to be with this dude that's trying to ask her out. And the reason for it is because her friend, which is like one of her best friends, has always had a thing for this dude, but obviously the dude doesn't care about her friend, but actually cares about her, and obviously that could complicate a relationship between friends, and so she doesn't want that, and she doesn't want to go out with the dude. And she even says she's not into popular dudes, but even if she was, she wants to be respectful for her friend. So, I understand. She's in a very difficult situation, and it's a typical situation you would see in a slice-of-life romance series, or a comedy, harem, whatever. It is something you do see quite often. It's definitely not something original. However, what makes this so entertaining is the fact that, like I said, Groundhog Day, the supernatural elements, the execution of it with these two individual characters, Koga and Sakuta, and how they interact with each other throughout this episode. Now, I know many are probably wondering, so what's going on with Mai and all that? And, what's Sakuta have to do with all this? Well, Mai right now, obviously things are progressing with her. And judging by the way this date was done in this episode, it's pretty much been one full month after the events of the last episode, when he first asked Mai out. And as we know in the events of the last episode, he would need to go in every day and tell Mai that he loves her and he wants to go out with her. He would need to say this for a full entire month. And that's where this episode takes place. And so, finally, he's on his final day. He's like, hey, I love you, go out with me. Everything goes smoothly. At first, it seemed a little bit rocky on the first, loop, the first time around. But then he got it, and then the next time around, he got it. And you're like, oh, this is a good man, good man. He's able to, get the girl he wants and go out with her. I'm like, yo, this man's making some solid progression on episode 4. I am proud of this man. I am happy for this series. And I'm just like, this is adorable. It's so cute, especially her reactions or, interaction with Sakuta when she was getting all embarrassed, hiding her face and all that. And as you know, I'm a sucker for romance. I love romance. I love that type of stuff. I really feed for that. Like, that's something I want. And seeing the way this was done, I'm just like, oh my god, this is just so cute. It's super cute. And just seeing how she did a bait and switch to the man, like she's like, oh, I'm gonna be kissing and all that, and he's like, wait, what? You need to decline that. And she's like, no, I'm not really gonna be kissing anyone. I'm actually not the main character in the so-and-so commercial. And he's like, oh, and all that. You're very mean. And she's like, oh, you want to kiss me and all? He's like, yes, please do. And so you see it where he closes his eyes. He's like about to kiss her, and she puts like a piece of food right to his lips, and he like kisses it all romantically when he realizes that she was faking him out. And I'm like, bro, like that. Like, no, I do like how he took it like a champ. He did take it like a champ, by the way. If you think about the situation, but she did do that to him. He's like, you know what? I'm pretty happy I got to have an indirect kiss with you and all that. And since you're such a mature girl, you should be fine with indirect kisses. And I'm like, oh my god, like, yo, I love it. 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 I love this series. That's just so great. But okay, I'm sorry. Let me get into the main plot of this episode. But obviously it's the month after, and they officially kind of like become a couple. And the next day, if that day passes, they'll be an official couple. Which is where the main conflict of this episode happens. Since it's Groundhog Day, time is looping, Sakuta is never going to be able to go out with Mai because constant loops. But it doesn't just stop there, though. Because of, him actually fixing Koga's situation, having a misunderstanding, which I am very thankful wasn't dragged out and made all over dramatic and all that. I appreciate that a lot. Oh my god, I really do, because I've seen that so much in romance, slice life, and all that. I'm so sick of over dramatic stuff. I may like my romance genre, but I can't stand an over dramatic misunderstanding. And I'm so glad, even though she was upset, obviously, it wasn't dragged out, and Sakuta took it in stride. He's like, I'll fix this misunderstanding very easily. That's how he felt about it the entire time, even after, time continued to move forward, and he was no longer stuck on the 27th, he knew he could potentially fix it. So I was like, okay, thank God there's, like, no drama being dragged out. But then at the end of the episode, when Mai appears, she's like, why didn't you come to, tell me about this misunderstanding? I'm like, yo, she knows. Like, she knows. She legit knows. And I'm like, oh my god, this series, man. And that's what made me call it, kind of like perfection, because it's just like, it hits all the right notes of what I love from a slice-of-life romance, with some supernatural thrown in, and that's why I liked it. But anyways, Koga is going to complicate a lot of things, and the reason why she's going to complicate a lot of things, it's not just because she is a female character, and obviously she could be potentially a love interest. She is actually going to be fake dating Sakuta for a while, which is going to complicate Mai and Sakuta's relationship. I do believe Maya as a character, she will have some witty banter with Sakuta, put him down a little bit, but overall I think she's going to be very understanding. She is definitely not one of those characters, I think, that would be judgmental or really not try to understand Sakuta's situation or Koga's. And I feel like, she's going to be able to work with him, somehow work this out. Because, I mean, her situation was just recently fixed less than a month ago to where, she's not disappearing. So she'll probably put A and B together. She'll realize, and she's like, okay, I want to help you out, work with you and all that. And I don't think that's really going to cause some drama. I just feel like it will complicate the dynamic with Mai and Sakuta. And Koga is definitely going to be someone that probably does fall in love with Sakuta down the road. But yeah, that's pretty much about it when it comes to this episode. It's really great. I really love this series. Episode 4, once again, wonderful. It really proves itself that it doesn't need the whole plot line with Mai and Sakuta to remain a really good story. So yeah, I can't wait for next episode. I can't wait for next Wednesday to watch episode 5. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.